Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the OutPower Newscast. On this episode we're going to talk about a couple of articles from the OutSystems blog, a guide that explains how we can trace the executed queries back to our application, and share the highlights from the latest activity in the OutSystems community. Let's start this week's news by going over an article in the OutSystems blog that goes over what should be the criteria to build a high-performing team. The article explains how the high-performing teams are teams where all the members are deeply committed and due to that superior business results are delivered. All of this has the interesting consequence that these teams usually show greater degrees of employee satisfaction. To reach this article you can find a link to the blog post below. A while ago OutSystems released a course that was OutSystems for .NET developers. This course proved to be a topic of great interest in the OutSystems community. So with the objective of measuring its usefulness and improve it, OutSystems has set up a forum where the community can provide the necessary feedback. If you have a spare moment, you can provide the feedback at the forum in the following link. And the forum post for this topic is at the link below. This next article in the OutSystems blog covers what could be the impact of having a strong culture with people advocating it daily, and how it can affect the relationship between culture and success in a company. During the article, we see how culture can be the guiding star that steers people's commitments, work ethics, and principles. It does all this by drawing the comparison between a work environment and a highly active team sport activity. The article also provides some guidelines to be able to achieve this type of strong culture. If this has grabbed your attention, you can reach the blog post at the following page. Now going over to Hints and How-Tos. This week on Hints and How-Tos we'll take a look at the feature for on-premises free infrastructures that aims at helping us finding a query on our code when looking at database executed queries. That feature is the query origin information, and when that is turned on, every executed query will leave a breadcrumb with the path to the query in our code. Something similar to this. The OutSystems documentation has a dedicated section that teaches how we can enable the mention feature. The documentation goes through all the necessary steps so that we can enable the mentioned feature in our factory configuration. For more information on this, you can check the forum post at the link down below. Next, let's take a look at the community activity on the Forge. Now talking about the Forge, after going through this week's deployments by the community members, we have the following picks. Going over to our final segment, the idea of the week. When we are in the scenario where our OutSystems infrastructure is on premises, we can schedule the OSP tool to publish the complete factory. But on a cloud environment, that is not the case. And that is what our idea of the week is about. The request to allow us to publish a complete factory or solution in an OutSystems cloud environment. This could be helpful in the scenario where a large application factory with multiple teams working on multiple applications could schedule a complete factory publish after working hours. If you wish to read more about this or support the concept, you can reach the idea on the link available below. On that last note, we come to an end of this edition of the newscast. Thank you very much for watching and please join us next time for more OutSystems news about power. Have a nice day.